have to get lower than that for two reasons. One of them, as you said, is that people will expect that it'll get lower anyway, and that's why most people will wait. $1,000 is still a lot of money. But it's also because once the price point gets really low, you can do a lot of very interesting things, because you can keep sequencing over and over again to see changes, to, for example, monitor a disease like cancer as it goes on, because during the disease, you have a lot of changes in the DNA happening in the tumor from month to month. So you'd want to be able to monitor that. And the same thing, if you just want to understand more about all of life on Earth and how it fits together, then you'd like to be able to sequence basically our entire biosphere. And that's a huge project, not just from a computational point of view, but also just from a point of view of how much sequencing you need to do. And that's a lot of work if it's slow, and it's also very expensive if it's $1,000. So, yeah, you'd like it to get better than that.
Yeah. So what do you think the benefits of sequencing the biosphere would be? I mean, like, surely you'd get a recording of all the species, the genome, so if any died out, that would be, a useful recording, so you can maybe even bring things back to life. But, well,
you could learn a lot of things too, because if you can sequence basically everything that's out there, then you can see how one thing is related to another and how they evolved from one another, or how they have common ancestors and what sort of traits relate to which part of the DNA and these sort of things, because most of that is still kind of a correlational study, a correlational science, rather than a real understanding of exactly how does this piece of the DNA turn on that kind of protein manufacture, and how does that protein manufacture create these cells. And it's not that mechanistic yet. So if you want to learn from DNA, you need to have huge databases full of it, basically, and the bigger they are, the more you can learn.
Yeah, at the moment we don't, right? Even
We're
within
it's
the
getting,
species.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting to be more, but it's still not that much. For example, one of the big problems, if you just want to look at it that way, is that we only have 92% basically of the human genome. There is no complete human genome. That's one of the facts, and part of the problem is these repeat sequences that really don't, come up nicely out of shotgun sequencing.
Oh, okay, right. So, if we had a massive databases of genomes, let's say we had like, a few billion, that's a lot, right, of human genomes, would we be able to sort of data mine that and get more information about how to approach better, or designing better rejuvenation therapies or whatnot?
My guess would be yes. I'm not an expert in the area, so that's really not my domain. I'm just guessing, because it seems like the more we know, the more you can do with it. But you'd have to ask someone else, maybe George Church, for example, a well-known genomist.
Yes, all right. No worries. Well, I've got some initial questions